Hey guys, this is Gary. You're probably wondering what these two boxes contain. Well, I was looking for something to store my tools, and doing some research online, there's various options ranging from tool chests to tool carts to tool cabinets. I needed something more mobile, so a tool cart would fit my criteria. Also, I didn't want to pay anything above $200. Looking at Craftsman and Snap-on, they were just out of my price range. I did more research and went onto Harbor Freight's website and found out that they sold a tool cart that fit my criteria. This is the 5-drawer tool cart, and the box right above it is actually the side tray that can adapt to the side of this cart. Hold on. To save money, you need to use the 20% discount at the register. I highly recommend to also bring a friend for this. The cart itself costs $179.99. With the 20% discount, it drops down to $155.48. The side tray costs $29.99, and with the 20% discount, it drops down to $25.90 for a total of $181.38. So just about $20 below my budget. Now, let's open it up and take a look at what's inside. This thing is pretty heavy. You can see I used a hand cart to move it around. I also suggest you bring a truck over there. I made the mistake of bringing my car and it did not fit. So I had to come back and get a truck. Okay, there's some broken styrofoam in here. So that just tells me that it's doing its job. There's some keys that were taped to the unit. And these are probably the brackets for the sides. Legs to the unit. I broke off all the top styrofoam pieces and it doesn't seem like I can pull the unit out from the top, so I'm going to tip it to the side and pull it out that way. It looks like the bottom tray has a mat right here, and I believe you mount the wheels to the bottom down here. To prevent the paint from being damaged or losing anything, I'm going to put everything on top of the box lid. I think the nuts and bolts are in the drawer of the chest, so I'm going to have to flip it over to look for them. Another thing I noticed, the top lid is locked, so I'm going to have to open it. Hydraulic shocks. Installation manual, and there's another mat. Another thing I noticed is that there's a lever where the handle of the shelf is right here. You're supposed to push it and then pull the shelf open, but you can see it's not opening right there or right here. You're going to have to open the lid first, and then you'll be able to open them. The nice part too is they included this mat. Right there. Right here. There we go. The handlebar. And this is probably the nuts and bolts. This looks like a side tray right here. So here's the side tray. Most likely the nuts and bolts and a few other brackets. There's only one key for this tool cart, which is right here. The other shelves don't have any keyholes, and the way they lock is because when you close the top shelf, they press in these two metal pieces and that secures the remaining shelves in this unit. For example, I can open them right now. As I close the lid, these two pieces will close down, and then I'm unable to open them now. The wheels are also in here. 4 wheels. They look to be very heavy duty, and there's a wheel lock on this one. And it looks like there's a wheel lock on 2 of them, and the other 2 have no wheel locks, but this one can rotate. So this one can be the front wheels while this one's the rear. And we have a handle and nuts and bolts and washers. There's different size bolts, so I'm going to take a look at the directions first so I don't mess up the first time around. On a project like this, I typically organize all my bolts, nuts, and washers so that they don't get mixed up. All the nuts will use a 1/2 inch or 13 millimeter socket. All organized and ready to go. Now it's time to put this thing together. Base is complete. Okay, looks like we're almost done. Looking at the instructions, they want the top unit inserted in between the legs so that it can rest on these brackets right here. But being that I'm by myself, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to flip this upside down and insert it the other way. Now I have to flip it around because I can't get to the bolts because the lid is still closed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert some bolts into the bolt holes and I'm going to try to flip it around. I secured the top unit and now let's put the hydraulic arms in. The shock will be bolted onto this tab right here, and not this first hole, but the second hole over here. Let's test it out. Looks good. Now I only have a few pieces left, including the folding side tray. Side tray is done. Let's move on to the handlebar. Okay, finished with the handle. On to the next one. Like I mentioned earlier, the side tray is additional to the tool cart itself. I think it's a great addition because you can rest your tools on there, and as you can see from these images, you can rest a laptop there also, but in my case, I'll be resting tools in case this lid is open and I cannot rest anything on it. Here are the nuts and bolts, instruction manual. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take out these 4 bolts on the top unit so I can install this piece. As you can see, the 4 bolts will insert into these areas right here. Voila! The side tray is completed. So it pretty much folds in on itself. There's this little edge right here that this piece folds into, and that's how it becomes sturdy. Now onto the finishing touch, the handle. And that completes the unit. One of the main reasons why I needed to buy something that was mobile is because when I work on cars, I could be in my garage, my backyard, in my driveway, and I just needed something to where it's right next to me because I don't want to be running back and forth getting tools. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you in the next one.